God has always spoken to me through water. All our vacations, soft summer days, family gatherings were centered on water. I've always appreciated the healing power and calm that water gives. But there's an even deeper meaning.
Even before we were married, my wife and I made a commitment to help our children experience God's love. The same nurturing kind of love that we receive from God for ourselves. We had our daughter baptized when she was just an infant to show that God loved her and chose her from the beginning, even before she could speak for herself. We were responsible for showing our daughter the Christian faith. And in a way, we were her first Christian community. And that community continues to grow.
I was baptized as a young adult, and that was just a very significant day that I feel like I need to celebrate each year, because that was the day that I declared my desire to be marked as one of Christ's own and to be united in a covenant relationship with God. I remember it also as a day that I entered into a covenant relationship with the faith community.
Baptized in water and the Holy Spirit, we celebrate the promise of God's love. Baptism is a symbol of God's washing, life-giving, transformative power. In the sacrament of baptism, we experience the embrace of God's calling upon our lives, and in turn, we embrace that calling in our Christian life and faith.
Those who stand in and take those vows while a child is being baptized should stand by that child during those years when that child is growing. The time will come when that child will make their own profession of faith and confirm their faith. But in the meantime, the child's parent's role is very important in the upbringing of that child, because your life provides an example for them. What you do in terms of how you love God and how you show God's justice will be a living example to that child, and they can grow stronger in their faith by your example.
What my parents did for me when they accepted God's gift in my name when I was just a baby is a wonderful thing. The people here love me, and I love them. They can count on me, and I can count on them. It's comforting.
It's a great day in our church when a child that I've baptized comes forward years later and reaffirms their commitment to Christ. We accept everyone who accepts God's love in their life. I've baptized people of all ages and from all walks of life. It's wonderful to see them start anew with a strong new family of God and a strong, ever-present faith.
Maybe it's like the resurrection. An old life ends and a new one begins.
A new life washed free of sin, where the power of evil is renounced, when the baptized choose to seek the will and way of God.
Therefore we have been buried with Christ by baptism into death, so that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, so we too might walk in newness of life.
Being covered in water symbolizes a death of the old life, and coming from the water is entering our new life given to God. It symbolizes Christ dying and rising again. So the abundance of water symbolizes the abundant grace of God.
In the scriptures, God uses water to cleanse the world of evil. God freed Israel from bondage through the waters of the sea. Water has always been God's way of delivering the faithful from that which oppresses them. Water flows throughout the story of our Christian faith, and it spills over into a life of faithful discipleship.
God's family in the community doesn't stop in my church or in my backyard. It's all over the world, everywhere I go. When I was baptized, I became a part of a community that believes Christ rules as Lord of all life, all creation, in a society and people shaped by the sovereignty of God. I carry that power, the gift of ministry, with me everywhere I go. I'm like an ambassador. I share all that God has done for me with everyone I meet. In this way, we who are baptized are equal as Christian disciples. I remember my baptism, even now, years later, and I'm just so very thankful and grateful for it.
Just as a parent embraces a child, in baptism, God embraces us. We're joined with Christ and to one another in a new family, the people of God. We're then called to reach out to others, extending the same grace and love and welcoming that we received. And the family of God continues to grow.
My baptism means I'm a part of the new thing God is already doing in this world, God's new creation. There's a greater hope, a higher calling. I can't ignore it. It changes the way I live.